41%? Oh, I wish I got another 10%. Hello, I am Astrid Nelvita, the Maths Mentor, and I'm here to help struggling HSC students to pass their next maths exam. This video is for students who are frustrated at getting marks just short of what they know is achievable. For students who are doing well in their class and homework, but for one reason or another is just not doing too well in their exams. If that's you and you want to know what you can do while in maths exams to get an extra 5 to 10%, then follow these steps. One reason why you might be doing badly in exams is because you're making too many silly mistakes. Now, everybody makes mistakes and it's fine as long as you have strategies in place to find and correct them. Now, I make mistakes in maths all the time, even sometimes more than my students do. But what sets me apart is that I have multiple strategies that I use to find those mistakes and fix them. So what are these strategies that you can adopt for yourself to reduce the number of silly mistakes? The simplest one is to have an estimate for the answer before you begin. I call it the common sense approach. You should know what kind of number you're expecting to get before you even start the question. Then, when you finish, see if your answer matches your expectations. Let's do an example. A songwriter earns a royalty of 48 cents every time her song is played on the radio. If in 1 week her song was played 423 times on radio stations, calculate her royalty payment for that week. Let's start with an estimate. The way I do it is I put myself in the shoes of the songwriter. Now, if I was a songwriter and I know I get around 50 cents every time my song is played, and my song is played around 400 times on the radio station this week, if I was getting paid $1 every time it was played, then I would be expecting around $400. But I'm getting paid only half of $1, so around 50 cents every time my song is played. So I would expect to be paid around $200. That would be my estimate, around $200 for this week. Let's say you did the question like this, where you think the royalty is equal to 48 times 423 and you get 20,304. And you went ahead and wrote, therefore the songwriter earns $20,304 a week. If you didn't have that estimate in the first place, you might not have picked up that this number is way too big. You're expecting $200 and you got $20,000. This is where you know that you've done something wrong somewhere along the line. And you would notice that this is actually in cents. So it's 20,000 cents, which in turn is $203.04. And that way you've picked up the mistake and you're able to fix it in time. Another thing you can do is to check your answer by redoing the question but in a different way using a different method. This is great if you have a lot of time left in the exam or you can do mathematical calculations quite quickly. But if you don't usually have time left in exams, then please go and watch my other video on how to finish maths tests in time. I'll leave the card over there and I'll also leave the link below for you. Let's see how this applies with the same question. Another way of doing this question would be to turn the cents into dollars first. And 48 cents is $0.48 times 423, and you still get $203.04, which is great. So we've tried two different ways of doing the same question and got the same answer. That is very reassuring. Yet another way you can check your answers is to use the answer that you have found and with it work backwards towards the question and see if you can get back to the information that's in the question. This is particularly useful if you can't think of a different way to do the question. Let's try it with the same example. To go backwards with this question, I would go something like $203.04 for that week, and I divide it by 423 because that is how many times the song has played, to find out how much I'll be getting per song. And that is 0.48, so that is 48 cents every time the song is played, and I'm happy with this answer. I'm pretty sure that that is correct. It matches my estimate. I've done it 2 different ways, and going backwards matches the question. Now that we've gone through ways of avoiding silly mistakes, what are some other reasons you might not be doing as well as you'd like in exams? The next most common reason that I see with my students is leaving questions blank. Now, I understand that questions might come across very intimidating and you freak out and it puts you off your game, and instead of dealing with it, you'd rather just not attempt it. I understand, it's scary, but I need you to understand that if you don't attempt the question, it's an automatic 0. If it's a 3-mark question and you don't write anything down, it's automatically going to give you 0 marks. If you at least try to do some of the question, you might get 1 or 2 marks out of the 3, and those couple of marks might be the difference between pass or fail. So attempt every question. There is one more reason why you might be missing out on those extra marks. Are you the type of student who would just believe what the calculators say is the answer without a second thought, without questioning it? Are you the type of person who would just punch in the numbers in the calculator and then whatever it spits back out at you, that's it, that's the answer? If you are that type of student, then you, my friend, have to refer back to point 1 of this video, which is to have an estimate for the question. Ask yourself every time you use a calculator, does the number sound right? Does it match your estimate? Treat the calculator with a healthy dose of skepticism, because the truth is, the calculator will only do and calculate what you tell it to calculate. And if you have typed in the wrong thing, then it will calculate what you typed in. Basically, to get the extra 10%, you need to improve on your ability to spot your mistakes and fix them. Of course, if you can avoid the mistakes in the first place, then that's great. But if you're like most of the students that I've taught, mistakes occur more often under exam conditions. It's also going to be less stressful for you to know that it's okay to make mistakes because you have equipped yourself with the ability to fix them. If you are one of the few who will actually action any of my advice, then comment below with what you tried and how it made the difference. I like making these videos for you, so I hope you like it as much as I do. If you want me as your maths mentor, then visit my website and see if we can work together.